like a phoenix from the ashes. Something, something, Soul Calibur opening something. Hello, wary travelers, and welcome back aboard the good airship Hopium. I am your host and captain, Snappydude, and today we're going to be talking about Project ALEA, a new gigantic fan game project designed to be a spiritual successor to our favorite game, and I am super stoked for this one. So, I'm not going to say too much. I will post a link in the description to Wolfie's video. Wolfie did an interview with these guys. It's a little bit over an hour long, and it tells you basically everything you need to know, but I'm going to try to sum this up real quick. So, ALEA is a project being worked on by 3 of the people who were working on Project Stamina, and it is a spiritual successor to Gigantic. It shares a lot of similar gameplay. If you watch the gameplay in Wolfie's stream, you'll see it's very similar to Gigantic. It has a sort of Greco-Roman theme to it right now. There are 3 playable characters. This game is very early in development, and like I said, there are 3 people working on it, so considering what we see here, there's not a lot of content here. But I will say the gameplay looks fantastic for the stage they are at, for how early on they are, how smooth and quick this gameplay and responsive this gameplay looks. It's honestly amazing. I'm very excited for this game. The game currently has, I think, like 1 or 2 game modes, but basically just a team deathmatch type mode. But it aims to have more modes, including a power race, which will be very similar to Gigantic's main mode of Clash. The biggest difference between this and Gigantic is that this game, you do not level up your character as you progress through the match. That means there's no leveling up your character, but as sort of an alternative, you get to swap between 2 different builds. So you have a warrior, and he can go from a damage build to a tank build. You have a mage, he can go from being an ice mage to a fire mage. You have a archer that goes from sort of a spread shot to sort of more of a snipery, long range looking attack. I liked this idea. Honestly, I think this is probably the closest you're going to get to Gigantic and still have mainstream appeal. Let's face it, most of the time Gigantic builds break down into 1 or 2 main builds that make any character viable. So just taking out the middleman and just saying, here you go, here are the 2 builds that actually work for this character. You can swap between them on the fly. I think that's pretty great. I also think it gives flexibility while not being too complicated for the casual crowd. I really like that. The game, like I said, very early on. There's more details on Wolfie's stream, but there is one more thing I should bring up before I send you off to watch that, and that is this game does have some Web3 elements. That is cryptocurrency, for those of you who don't know, and that's just being upfront with it. The game is still going to be free to play. None of those elements you have to engage with. You don't have to engage with any of the Web3 stuff if you don't want to. Just to make that very clear, basically the game is going to do sort of it sounds like a drop item system, where basically, like, if you unlocked a certain skin, that skin will have a sort of code attached to it that makes it unique. And then you will be able to trade and sell that skin. But you don't have to do that. You could just keep the skin forever and never engage with any of those parts of the game. You know? So, if you don't want to, just ignore that part. Just pretend like it is only a free-to-play game and never put any money or time into that side of it. I think that's fine. As long as they're not forcing you to use those features, I'm okay with that. It doesn't really bother me. It's when they become mandatory that it's probably going to bother me. But hopefully that's not the case. Like I said, this game is very early on, but it just looks fantastic, and I thought it was something that I should show off to the community. I know my fans, some of them at least will be hyped to see this. I'm excited to keep my eye on the project. Hopefully it keeps going in this direction because it looks absolutely fantastic. If nothing else, a free-to-play game where I can get on and the gameplay just looks this great, I'm excited. Since Gigantic died off. Until next time, guys, Snappydude out, y'all. Bye.